On today's episode of World of Micah, we're visiting Old Town in Kissimmee off of Highway 192. We're going to be matching up some old photographs and taking a trip to the past and see how much has changed here at Old Town. Now, oh, Old Town, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? It's been a while since I've been here, but I've gathered up some photographs and I'd figured we could walk around today, match those up and see how much really has changed. All right, officially starting looking at Highway 192 and the main entrance to Old Town here. Now, this has changed. For sure has changed. To the left over here, the Shoney's used to be Little Darlings. We'll dive into that in just a minute, but wanted to show you guys the jukebox, little entrance gate here, and that Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel has changed over the years and quite a bit. You can see in this shot, it's I think it was done by one of the flyover helicopters that are in the area. You can see how there used to be a lot of grass out here in Old Town. Little Darlings, the water fountain, long before the Vomitron and Checkers and everything was here. So there used to be a different sign right here. I'm going to insert the photo so you can see on the back side of this Ferris wheel. Across the street was the Ponderosa restaurant, the Motel 6, and the Holiday Inn. Ponderosa no longer is there, but the Motel 6 and Holiday Inn are both there. But this is what I was talking about with the main entrance, how they've changed it. It used to be a little tiny sign. The jukebox wasn't here. And where that Shoney's is, right on the other side of this, used to be Little Darlings, which was Wolfman Jack's throwback 1950s concert hall, and they used to have a TV show there. In fact, I did a video talking about Little Darlings and the history of Little Darlings. If you guys want to see that episode, I'm going to put a link up right now so you guys can check that video out, come back and finish this video, or vice versa. Now I'm going to walk right over here because I found a photo from around opening year of Old Town, back when all of this used to be grass. I remember this place was grass as far as the eye could see. Yeah, about where we're standing is where this was taken. You can see the Ferris wheel was a lot different. Didn't have the same kind of vehicle that you sit in, and the building to the right of it, where all the people were congregating around the grass area, that was Little Darlings. Used to be a whole plot of grass right here, and as you can see, they have changed this whole area. All of this is new, and they added a bunch of cement and some bricks, but the bricks say Old Town, so that's cool. But Little Darlings was right over there next to the Shoney's. I'm not sure when they exactly put this Ferris wheel in here. I've ridden this Ferris wheel several times. I never got to ride the old Ferris wheel. But fun fact too, Adam had a meet and greet, a meetup, right on the other side here back in the day. And that was where we first met, actually, in person. True story. And he and I I don't know, we hit it off and we've been friends ever since. It's funny. It's hard to think back to a time when I didn't know Adam. Because we're just such close friends, but yeah, it's weird. Yeah, right here was Little Darlings, you can see in the photograph. All the girls out in front with their poodle skirts on and classic cars, and they had a lot of bands perform here at Little Darlings. Wolfman Jack hosted it. It was on TV, and then it was closed and they demolished it, and now Shoney's sits here. But the Ferris wheel still remains in the same area that it's always sat in. Do you remember a time when the jukebox sign wasn't here, the original sign? Do you remember that? If you do, comment. Let me know your earliest memories of Old Town. All right, we're gonna head on down into Old Town and see how much has changed. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Old Town is free. They do have upcharges for things, like if you want to ride some of the attractions, such as the Vomitron, which no thank you. And I just noticed there's a gentleman right up there working on the Vomitron. Things that I would never do. That's one of them right there. I'll ride this all day, but the Vomitron and I, we're at a mutual agreement that we're never gonna hang out, and it's cool. Now, within doing my research, I found out that there used to be a fountain here. There were two fountains. The first fountain was right here, right when you first pulled in to Old Town. And I found a photograph. We're gonna match it up, and it'll make sense why this building and this whole area looks the way it does. Also, last time I was here, that Bel Air was not on that little stage right there. I'm still curious, how do they do it? How do they place that car right there on that stage with the Old Town and the metal bar and everything? Like, they can't drive it up there. How do they do it? See, there goes one of the many helicopters that fly around here, and I'm sure that's the person who took the photograph that I showed you earlier when I was showing you the bird's eye view, pretty much, of this place. Now, right here is where we are right now. I'm gonna show you this photograph. You can see the fountain, a horse carriage, a bunch of balloons, and a bunch of people hanging out at Old Town. This was around opening year. And then modern day, they have built this bar little area here, but that is where the fountain used to sit, right there, and the horse carriage was right here. And all the buildings behind it still match up to this day. But I don't know when they got rid of that fountain. I don't remember there being a fountain here. I remember them building this building, but I can't tell you a date. But yeah, it happened. No matter what, every time I'm here, I'll always take a photograph here in front of the car. If you do, make sure you use those hashtags right there and tag Old Town in it. But let's continue matching up a few other photographs that I have. Now, in that photograph, the fountain, like I said, was right here. And as you make the turn, yeah, all these buildings, the roof lines and everything still match up to this day. It's just right here was the fountain. Huh. It's kind of interesting, right? I don't think back then they had these signs. Now I'm gonna have to cheat this photo. Imagine the fountain is right here, and this building and that lip of that building right there can be seen in this photograph. You can see the fountain and the flowers they had and the bench. It's kind of nice out here, right? Looks a little different, but for the most part you can match up, you know, roof lines and buildings and everything. And it still, you know, for the most part looks the same. But yeah, making a big deal about this huge fountain here. But it's just interesting to know that there was a massive fountain down here at Old Town once upon a time. These little cars down here in these storefronts are cool. And I noticed they got a Back to the Future and a Jurassic Park magnet there. Take your place in history. Well, I'm kind of showing some photographs of history, and the one way I found where this photograph was taken with a bunch of Herbie the Love Bugs is because of this sign right here, as well as the As Seen on TV sign in the distance. They had the whole street here lined up with number 53, Herbie the Love Bug. You know, they have the muscle cars every Friday here, and they have the classic car show here every Saturday. They have the classic car cruise. And I'm sure at one point they just said, hey, if you got a Herbie the Love Bug or a Love Bug, just bring it. And they lined them up all along this street right here, as you can see in the photograph, as well as that portrait gallery sign and the as seen on TV. That's what kind of gave it away. And right around here is where the photograph was taken of the dad taking a photograph of his wife and their kids. And they had all the classic cars here promoting the Saturday night cruise with the old clock. And what's interesting is, pay attention to the ground. There's no fountain there. So this fountain was put in later, much later. It's not original to Old Town, but the clock is original to Old Town. Funny how that is, right? And it seems like the cars were kind of in this circle, and they had them all like facing inwards towards the clock. So you could walk around this entire area and see the classic cars. Stuff like that I find so interesting. That's why I really like digging up old photographs and just seeing what used to be. By the way, anything that goes into this, it benefits the cruiser charity events. So, gotta support the Saturday night cruise. It's been going on for quite some time. And see, Old Town's always promoted that clock. That clock has been promoted here for a very long time. And here's another fountain they have. A little different of a fountain, but nonetheless it is a fountain. So there are still fountains here at Old Town, just not as extravagant as the original fountain that took place all the way down the other end. I gotta stop into Rootin' and Tootin's real quick, say hello to the family. How's it going, everybody? Good to see you all. Stay cool, all right? Take care. And I completely forgot about this fountain here. It's got a little classic look to it. All benefits the cruise. This one's right outside of the general store. I'm not gonna get a Pepsi today. It's like one of the first times I didn't get a Pepsi at Old Town. And we did it. We matched up all the photographs that I found, showing a little bit of the history of Old Town. There's not a whole lot of history. I'm still digging. Still trying to dig out some undiscovered, kind of, untouched history of this place. Little Darlings, is a very historical thing here. And there's been a lot of other historical things here. And actually a film was made here. Maybe one day we'll do the locations for that. Yeah, maybe one day I'll come back and show you guys the filming locations that were done here for a movie that was made at Old Town. When I saw the commercial for it, I was like, oh my gosh, they totally filmed that at Old Town. Ooh, somebody just took off on that slingshot. No, thank you. They're having fun, and I'm having fun watching them. But I'm glad we got to come out to Old Town today and take a closer look at some old photographs that I found. Still trying to get my strength back up. I appreciate you guys with all the messages and everything. Just gotta take every day little by little until I regain my strength. But this was a fun episode, and I hope you guys had fun. But it is time to say goodbye, and I will see you guys on the next adventure. Until then, stay weird. Goodbye.